Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening and welcome to Sports Extra with the latest roundup of sports tonight. I am your host Ahmed Nawaz. A fantastic lineup that we've got tonight once again. Let's take a look and then I'll introduce my guest. First of all, we will be talking about history that will be made. 24 years since Australia made a tour. They will be in Pakistan. They have announced a full-fledged 18-member test squad that will be taking part in the test series against Pakistan. This side includes Pat Cummins as captain. Steve Smith is going to be the vice captain. And overall, you'll see some big names, including Marnus Labuschagne, who's part of the squad, David Warner, Nathan Lyon, Travis Head, Ashen Agar, Usman Khwaja, Alex Carey, and so many other names that need to be discussed. The fact is, Josh Hazelwood also, mind you. So it's a complete squad that we're going to be talking about, and I think there's been a lot of speculation about this tour, but I would like to give a big shout out and credit to Cricket Australia for honouring their commitment and for making sure that this tour goes as planned. The first test match will take place on the 4th of March at the Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. Second test match will be played on the 12th. That will be in Karachi, and then we'll move on to Lahore for the third test match. Then 5 ODIs and 1 T20 international that is also part of this series. It is going to be a cracker of a series. Like I said, Australia is coming to Pakistan. There's been a lot of hype. I think all the speculation was laid to rest once Pat Cummins said that he's talked individually to everyone. Nobody's going to pull out from this tour, and this was great to see. Imagine Mitchell Starc bowling in Rawalpindi. Imagine David Warner batting at Karachi. Imagine Steve Smith batting at Lahore. Phenomenal stuff that will be there. A whole generation will now witness these stars who have been there for world cricket. So we'll be talking about that in detail and also discussing the scheduling, and also that we would like to update you further as well. We'll be moving on to the Pakistan Super League. That is also on the cards. It was the last match in Karachi. Quetta Gladiators managing to beat Lahore Qalandars. They had a target of 205 to chase down, and they did it in style with 7 wickets. It was all about Jason Roy. It was a Roy masterclass and a moment and innings of, I think, aggression, you can say, a moment of redemption for not just Jason Roy but for Quetta Gladiators as well, because he just took everybody to the cleaners. So I think a jet lag, being in his first match in the PSL in different conditions, fatigue was there. You can talk about all factors, but that nod from Sir Viv Richards will tell you all that Jason Roy has really aced it when you talk about Quetta Gladiators. We'll also have a look at the points table, of course, because now Quetta have managed to get their position at a better note. They're number 4 in the standings. But overall now the PSL in Karachi has concluded. It will now be moving on to Lahore. It's a 2 days rest, and we'll see action on Thursday at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore, where initially 50% capacity has been allowed, and then of course we'll be moving on to 100% full capacity. Under 12s also allowed, and there were some lovely messages with children on Twitter as well. Chairman PCB also part of that initiative, where children thanked Chairman PCB for giving them the opportunity to watch PSL. After that, we'll be moving on to basketball. We'll have NBA in action. It's been all about the Oklahoma Warriors. It's been absolutely superb the way they have, just not given a masterclass, but they've completely walloped Thunders. And I think it's been a prime performance by the Splash Brothers as well, and there's so much to talk to about NBA. We'll give you the details as well, and we'll have our expert who will be talking in detail about this 9th straight victory for Oklahoma Warriors. Then of course we'll be moving on to the Winter Olympics in Beijing, and like I announced yesterday as well, that we'll be giving you a daily update of the Winter Olympics that are happening in Beijing, that are underway in China, and we'll have all the details and the latest update of the medals table and everything that is related to Winter Olympics as well. Time now to introduce my guest. We'll be starting off with Australia, that is making headway in Pakistan. 24 years since a tour progressed in Pakistan. A full 18-member squad has been announced. We'll talk about that in detail in studios. First of all, we've been joined by our cricket expert, cricket commentator, and I think these days he is becoming a true genie because his predictions sometimes, are coming true. So we did put him on the other side in the PSL. We'll be moving on to that in the second segment, but very lucky to be joined by K. Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you very much.
Good to have you on the show as well. And we've also been joined on Sports Extra. It's been a while since we had him. He's a sports anchor himself. He's a sports journalist, hosts a cracker of a show on a private television channel as well, and always there on social media, and always talks about the reality of the game. And whenever you want to take some insight about cricket, he'll always give you the news and the headlines that will always be there in the world of cricket and in the world of sports journalism for Pakistan. We've been joined by Abdul Ghaffar. Assalamu alaikum, Ghaffar bhai. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Walaikum Assalam. Thank you so much.
Great to have you once again. It's been a while, of course. We've got so much to talk about. Let's take a look at this very special report that we're talking about history, and then we'll come back.
Has announced an 18-member test squad for the much-awaited next month's three-test tour of Pakistan in their first squad announcement. The series will be the first time in 24 years the two nations have played each other on Pakistan soil. The first test will start in Rawalpindi on March 4th, with the second meeting slated for Karachi on March 12th. Lahore will host the final test from March 21. The two countries will also play three one-day internationals and one T20 match. According to the statement issued by Cricket Australia, Mitch Marsh, Josh Inglis, and Mitchell Swepson are part of the 18-member squad, adding that spinner Ashton Agar's name is the only addition from the extended group of the players that won the Ashes series against England. They will be led during the tour by interim coach Andrew McDonnell. On the other hand, the Pakistan Cricket Board has yet to announce the test squad for the upcoming home series against Australia. As per the statement, none of the players from the Australian side have voted to withdraw from Pakistan's tour, while the limited overs match squad will be announced later.
Well, you got to love social media. I think you have to love social media regarding this tour, from Cricket Australia's official Twitter handles as well, from the PCB's official Twitter handles. It's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, imagine Marnus Labuschagne tweeting that it's going to be his first time in Pakistan, Australia for the first time in 24 years. He was really excited to be in Pakistan alongside other players as well. And Asif, this is truly a historic moment. Nothing to take away from this.
Of course, that I do remember I was a schoolboy. Though I look like same, but 24 years back, and I do remember that though Pakistan lost against Australia in Pakistan, in ODI series 3-0, in Test series 1-0. So, but the excitement was over the sky, and the same thing happening in Pakistan now, and I'm pretty much eager to watch Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc playing and bowling in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. Love to watch David Warner here. And what about Steve Smith? So to be very honest, that it's a huge and remarkable for Pakistan cricket. And of course, that the last couple of months, and if you talk about the last couple of years, were not good for Pakistan cricket. New Zealand, they announced that they're coming. They came, and the 11th hour, they're telling they're going back to the security reasons. And everybody was laughing, of course. But what Australia is doing now, it's definitely, we're really thankful to them. And we are ready to give them a really warm welcome here in Pakistan. Pakistan is a safe country, and I keep saying, and everybody's talking about that, the nation of Pakistan has given thousands of sacrifices for the peace, not only for the Pakistan, but the world of as well. So I think this is the best time here to talk about Pakistan versus Australia. They have announced their
18-man squad as well.
Yes, and we're still looking forward that, and I would love to watch Fawad Alam playing against Pat Cummins in
that is truly a treat to watch. I think all of these combinations that we talk about are going to be majestic and fantastic at the same time as well. But on this note, obviously, we've got to realize that this is a complete squad. Pakistan Cricket Board has, of course, I think is in the making now of announcing a squad which will be there in a couple of days. We do know that from 16th onwards this month, a camp will take place for the test series as well. Rawalpindi, the first test match, second in Karachi, third in Lahore, cannot get bigger than this. Ghaffar, what are your sentiments being a cricket fan, a sports journalist as well? A 24-year wait, a complete generation that has been deprived from watching superstars from Australia cricket playing in Pakistan. They're going to be coming back, and it's a complete squad. There is no question that there is no limitation in this squad. There is nothing B about it. It's a complete squad for Australia.
Absolutely, it is a massive news for Pakistan cricket, and I knew that they're gonna announce at 4 a.m. So I didn't sleep awake to this news, to read the news, and of course that time I was jumping that they are just coming to Pakistan, and that was a fantastic feeling to read the Australian team, their full strength side being announced to tour Pakistan. I think this is going to a big moment for Pakistan cricket, and look at what a turnaround. I think massive credit to PCP and Ramiz Raja and all those supporting Pakistan at the time when the chips were down. England, as Asif mentioned, the New Zealand came and then they went back. Then England pulled out from Pakistan tour, but within months, Pakistan now are set to host Australia after 24 years. I think this is the biggest turnaround I ever seen in the cricket fraternity, especially for Pakistan. And of course, Pakistan cricket also on a rise here. We played a fantastic cricket in World Cup. We are hosting a very successful PSL right now. International stars that we witnessed yesterday. I think one of the great T20 innings we witnessed in Karachi in PSL by Jason Roy, Livingston, Alec Hales, some other big superstars already in Pakistan. So I think this is truly a reward of 5 6 years hard work by the PCB, by the security agencies, by the government, by the PCB of then time, and of course of now people. So I think congratulations to everyone. I think we made a lot of hard work, and finally we got the reward.
Definitely, it is a reward indeed, and I think Ghaffar is right that a lot of credit goes to everybody that is involved, from the PCB to the government of Pakistan to all the law enforcement agencies to the district management, everybody, the ground staff indeed. I think everybody has deserved this moment and they should be congratulated for that. Ghaffar, very interesting to see that people of Rawalpindi, Islamabad were a bit sad that they didn't get a PSL game, but now they've got a test match, 5 one-days and then a T20. So they got the majority, but it's always a treat to watch because I keep on telling people that the distance the capacity or the infrastructure of Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium is such that the distance from the stands to the pitch is very less. So you get a real-time scenario of the players in front of you. So it's going to be a treat to watch. I think everybody's got to go there. I'm trying to get myself into the test match at least.
Yeah, my debut of the cricket commentary was in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, and I always enjoy to watch cricket there, and especially when we talk about test cricket and playing against Australia with the full strength. The best thing is that they are coming with the full strength. And as you know, in New Zealand side, we have seen that the Kane Williamson didn't come, and the rest of the other players, and they didn't join. But they are coming with a full strength, and of course that I would love to watch Abid Ali playing there, and Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, you know.
Against Mitchell Starc.
Yes, against Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood. So lovely to watch, and the main thing is that Rawalpindi is always concerning crowd. We got really passionate crowd here. If you do remember, a couple of years back, the PSL matches, it was a fully crowded stadium, and we always enjoy there. So this is the time for the Rawalpindi and Islamabad people. Let's get ready for some fantastic match here, some fantastic and thrilling cricket, and of course that I'm quite sure that the people will they have started their plans now that how to watch, and definitely I'm going to watch there. What about you, Ahmed?
I'm definitely. I talked to one of my friends saying that I want to, and Waleed is his name. So me and Waleed were having a chat in the morning where I said I want to watch a test match. He said, why not T20 and ODIs? I said we'll watch those as well, but I especially want to watch a test match between Australia and Pakistan in Rawalpindi, because that's more fun when you talk about the real format of the game. Ghaffar, speaking about Cricket Australia, in the hierarchy or the structure of the ICC, Cricket Australia enjoys a very powerful position and is actually situated at a very powerful position. They're honoring their commitment. They're bringing a full-fledged team, a complete tour to Pakistan. What does this signal to other teams around the world? What doors will it open? And how do you see the future of Pakistan cricket now as far as home series are concerned?
Absolutely, it will be a big statement from the Cricket Australia where they are going to tour Pakistan. But most heartening thing to read, Ahmed, on that press release of Australia Test squad announcement, that they actually said by their player association chief and some other on behalf of obviously Australian players, that they realize they have a role to play for the global cricket. And of course, they just cannot expect teams to tour again and again. And we are just not going to their countries. They were actually talking about Pakistan, because Pakistan toured Australia a lot in the last 25 years. Australia haven't. So I think this is so heartening to read, that Australia and a team like Australia, they realize there is a role to play, and there is a role to help Pakistan cricket at this time. So, this is a massive turnaround. As I said earlier, that after that New Zealand and England refused to play in Pakistan. But I think I think 4 or 5 months time, Australia touring Pakistan, I think this is huge. This is extremely huge for Pakistan. And definitely, England already announced to tour Pakistan before World T20 and then after World T20 for a test series. New Zealand also in line to come Pakistan this year later on. So I think this is the biggest, big revival of cricket in Pakistan, a true revival we can say. And of course, one thing I do mention here that Pakistan cricket is also on a rise here. We have quality bowlers, we have quality batsmen. Now this is time to make a statement from your cricketing style as well, because Australia coming full strength. But don't forget, we are playing at home. We are playing on our strength. We have quality spinners. We have a quality batting line. We have a quality fast bowler in shape of Shaheen Shafidi. If we, I think there will be icing on the cake that if we able to beat them on our home soil as well. Definitely, we also want to prove our record in ICC Test Championship as well. So I think this will be icing on the cake if we are also able to perform well against Australia. And I'm very hopeful if we are able to make some good pitches according to our strength, we can do that as well.
Definitely we can. Ghaffar, thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra. It's been a pleasure having you. Right, that was Abdul Ghaffar, sports journalist and anchor, talking to us. Now, we do know that this is a very important tour as well, not just for Australia, but for Pakistan at the same time. So both countries have equal the amount of stakes when we talk about this. But Asif, considering Australia's players, we know that we've got a good test squad as well, good combinations in the making. So what are you expecting from Pakistan's squad that will be announced in a couple of days? We've also heard that they might even have 5 reserves in the squad.
Yes, if you talk about Pakistani squad, so it's a $1 million question that will be in the Pakistani side. But if you talk about that, Rizwan, of course, Babar Azam, I think that if you talk about number 3 batters, Abdullah Shafiq, Kamran Ghulam, and then we have, of course, Fawad Alam. So I think that...
You didn't mention Azhar Ali.
Azhar Ali, good question. For me, to be very honest, I want to give chance to youngster. So I think when Kamran Ghulam is scoring plenty of scores in the domestic cricket, why are you not giving him chance? Shah Ahmed, please consider him as...
Definitely. I think he's right, but to talk more on this, we've now been joined on Sports Extra by cricket expert Ali Jafar. Jafar, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Sports Extra.
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed. Thank you to you as well as K. Asif.
Right. What would you like to add, Jafar? I think we're all talking about this history that will be made, a tour after 24 years. But how well do you think Cricket Australia has handled this entire situation, be it the commitment, be it announcing a full-fledged squad, be it the statement from their captain and certain players as well?
Yeah, first of all, I would want to say that, all credit to Cricket Australia, because the way they've responded, and, everybody knows that the last time the Australian team toured Pakistan was in 1998, where they played a 3-test series, and Mark Taylor was captaining the side, and they won 1-0. And that is approximately 2.5 decades ago. So all credit to Aussies for making sure that this milestone is achieved, because everybody wants to see quality teams visiting Pakistan. Everybody wants to see these legends play on these grounds. And above all, let's not forget that we're talking about an Aussie team which has been ruling the Test cricket recently, ranked number 1 in the world. And, the captain, Pat Cummins, number 1 bowler in the world, and Marcus Lavishon, the best batter in the world. So, so much quality. And when these players, they come here, and I'm so excited for our players to play against this quality team who's ruling the world Test cricket right now. And another thing I would like to mention, initially a few statements, they were coming out and of the Aussie camp, and they were not very encouraging initially when players like Josh Hazelwood, they said that every player would consult with their families and make sure that they're mentally relaxed and relieved, and they look in good shape mentally if they have to visit Pakistan. But then at the same time, organizations like ACA, the Australian Cricketers Association, their president and their chief, Todd Greenberg, he came up with the statement that we want to see these players playing in Pakistan, playing against world-class players. So this is something that is, worth mentioning, that even Australia considers Pakistani cricket and Pakistani players to be at the top. And if you talk
Jafar,
about
what do you
right
think
now,
this will signal to the world? Jafar, I've asked this to my other guests as well, that what kind of signal will it give to other cricketing nations now? Because we understand that Cricket Australia enjoys a very powerful position in the hierarchy of ICC.
Yeah, true, absolutely. And Ahmed, I do believe that it's a very strong message. It's a message to every team in the world that any good great team, any good great players can come and play cricket in Pakistan, and it's extremely safe to do so. You know that these question marks were raised after the cancellation of New Zealand and England's tour, and the kind of probing that was done and the kind of investigation that was held. There were so many things that popped up. Keeping it on a lighter note, I don't want to make it a political show here, but it was there's this lobby working against Pakistan. There are a few countries they don't want and they don't wish Pakistan and Pakistan cricket and Pakistan as a country to flourish. So when a team like Australia comes and plays cricket in Pakistan, and world number one batters and world number one bowlers, they come and play on your wickets, this definitely sends a message that every team, it is safe for every team. If it is safe for Australia, it's safe for every team in the world to come and play here. And especially I would say that it holds more importance because Pakistan will get their due share of the ICC events in the coming years. So for that,
Definitely.
teams like these, and when they visit and have a safe tour, so this gives a strong message for the ICC events as well, that Pakistan is safe enough to hold any competition, may it be an Asia Cup, may it be a World Cup, may it be anything. Pakistan is absolutely capable of providing security to any team, any player, any country, any ambassador, any person of any race, culture, country, and this is how good we are, and this is how the kind of faith we have in our
Right.
security forces. So I
And
do
Ahmed,
believe
on a
definitely.
lighter note
Yes.
that, and Ali and Ahmed, on a lighter note that we have sorted all the security issues in T20 World Cup.
Yes.
So everything is fine.
Yes, everything is fine indeed. And now I think it's time now to sort the issue of the semi-final in Pakistan as well. That's much needed. But nonetheless, I think very aptly put that it's a great tour on the cards, and we're hoping for the best. So it's going to be a really competitive tour indeed. On that note, let's now move to the PSL. It was a cracker of a game, Quetta Gladiators against Lahore Qalandars. And, no matter how much we said Lahore is in form, Lahore's got a better record. They're the ones who are looking to go for the PSL. They're going to annihilate Quetta. It was the other way around. Although I think Lahore was very comfortable putting up a target to chase of 205 on the board. Yeah. But the way it was Jason Roy's night was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, talk about jet lag or change of conditions or being fatigued. He didn't know that. All he knew was to answer with his bat, and that's how he scored that superb century that probably made the difference. And there's going to be a lot to talk about, obviously, but K. Asif, Jason Roy. That's all I can say.
Last night when we were discussing about, and I've told you that one man cannot make any difference. And to be very honest, let me take my words back. But, of course, that was not only Jason Roy. James Wins was there, and
English partnership.
Yes,
typical English partnership.
And how you forget about Nawaz, the way he ended. So I think that all of them they played well, and I'm not really happy what Lahore Qalandars did.
Why isn't Asif happy? We've got a report on that. Let's take a look, and then I'll continue the discussion.
Shot! Oh, what a shot!
Jason Roy's century steered the Quetta Gladiators to a nail-biting 7-wicket victory against Lahore Qalandars in the 15th match of Pakistan Super League. Shaheen Shah Afridi had been put to bat first after losing the toss, but the decision bore fruit as the Qalandars were able to score over 200 for the loss of 5 wickets. Fakhr made 70 runs off 45 balls, while Abdullah Shafiq smashed 32 off 27 balls. The fall of wickets began in the 8th over, when Ghulam Mudassir picked up the first and crucial wicket of Abdullah, whereas later both James Wins and Roy continued to punish the Qalandar bowlers and make the clash one-sided.
Should be taken, not the middle of the bat this time. Should be out again, not the middle of the bat.
Wins had 49 off just 38 balls with 5 fours, while Roy made 116 runs off 57 balls. No bowler of Qalandar was able to hold charge Roy from sending the balls to the boundary. Gladiators chased down the 205-run target posted by Qalandars in 19.3 overs at the cost of just 3 wickets.
Oh, what a shot!
Well, that nod from Sir Viv definitely said it all, and I think Quetta Gladiators has found momentum at a very dangerous position right now moving into Lahore. So, Jafar, what did you think of the game, especially when we talk about Jason Roy making an impact? Talk about your first game in the PSL.
I would say that Roy just smashes his way into the fans of Pakistan cricket. I mean, the boundaries that were coming off his bat were actually just landing in the hearts of the cricket fans in Pakistan, and the kind of cricket he's played. I mean, no doubt, one of the finest knocks I've seen so far. And Afridi also, Shahid Bhai also praised Jason Roy for his brilliance. I mean, the kind of cricket he played, you saw that they were proper strokes, and even the unconventional and the untraditional shots were like they were class, sheer class. So I do believe that Lahore did well. You can't say that Lahore didn't perform well. They did well. They posted up a very good total. 204 in any ground of the world is a very good score. But at the same time, the kind of cricket Quetta played, and yesterday I saw one thing, that how a single player can lift the team up. I mean, I do believe that this could be a game changer for Sarfaraz as well, because so far Sarfaraz has looked a little rusty throughout this edition, and that is probably because if he's not performing well, his team was also not performing well. Quetta generally was not playing that caliber, the cricket of that caliber that was expected. So yesterday's innings, nothing much can be said except for this, that that was a world-class inning, and we are privileged that it happened in Pakistan Super League. And not only people here in Pakistan, I was reading this news that even people from India and news organizations in India, they have praised the quality of cricket in Pakistan and the quality of PSL. And James wins, this Jason Roy knock was also appreciated by the English Cricket Board. So I guess it was a wonderful way to come back to PSL. And generally, I do believe that now Quetta is a much stronger side after this edition of Jason Roy. And Quetta, since you see that it's right around that fourth number slot, and you see that generally Peshawar is not playing good cricket. Karachi is almost out of the tournament, I would say, because it's really difficult. They have to play out of their skin and win all the games to make it to the top four. So I do
But you
believe
got to
that
give
the
them marks for
competition.
consistency.
Oh, absolutely. They have even broken the records of Lahore Qalandars of the initial season. I mean, Qalandars was not even this consistent, how Karachi has been in this edition. So, definitely, Quetta is in the game. Quetta is up for a fight. And I guess that's what you want to see as a cricket
Definitely.
lover.
Definitely, Jafar. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports Extra. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Right, he said it right, that Quetta's found momentum at a very dangerous position, and the way Roy has done it, I think Sarfaraz would have had probably the best night's sleep that he can. K. Asif, very quickly, final thoughts. A good wake-up call for Lahore before they move into Lahore?
Yes, so before moving on the package, I was telling you that I'm not happy because they got a very good lineup in the bowling, and they've given chance to Quetta Gladiators to chase above 200. So I think, yes, it's a wake-up call for them, but I think now they're playing in their home
Definitely.
ground. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, K. Asif, for joining us on
Pleasure.
Sports Extra. Time now to look at our segment recaps. We, of course, started off with the history that is being made. 24 years since Australia came to Pakistan, they've announced a full-fledged 18-member test squad being led by Pat Cummins as the skipper, Steve Smith as the vice-captain. First test match, of course, takes place in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium on the 4th of March. Pakistan is due to announce a squad in a couple of days as well. We also discussed the PSL, and in the PSL, we discussed that the 7th edition's first leg in Karachi has concluded. It'll be moving on to Lahore. Quetta Gladiators managed to beat Lahore Qalandars in a high-intensity game by 7 wickets, and it was a crucial encounter for Quetta. It was all Jason Roy all the way. On that note, we'll go towards a short break. We'll be right back with NBA. Stay tuned.